Hello, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Ansarullah bin Hisham. My matrix number is AA20000020. Today, my group will present about specimen preparation. I will start with the additional theory. In order to examine the microstructure of steel, metallography is important. Most important thing is quality control. Cutting metals has some side effects. It will alter the surface properties and result in the formation of deformed layers on the surface. Various methods are used to prepare the surface of a metallographic specimen. It is frequently analyzed using optical or electron microscopy after preparation. Analyzing printed circuit board, PCB, solder hole connection, microelectric, failure analysis, steel heat treating such as surface hardening, ceramic grain size, and polymer composite fiber, wetting and orientation are all the examples of metallography analysis. Other flaws such as grain boundaries, twins, and precipitates are easily visible under microscope. Technicians usually identify alloys and predict material properties using metallographic technique. Then I'm going to move to the objective of our experiment. The first one is to identify the microstructure produced by the heat treatment process. And the second one is to analyze the microstructure of metals and metallic alloys.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Hakimi bin Yusuf. So today I will continue the presentation with tell to you about the apparatus and also procedure of this experiment. So the apparatus is, we have the computer, which is to open the software and snap the specimen picture or result. And then we have stereo microscope to observe the specimen. Next we have the specimen after doing the mounting process, and also we have the transparent acrylic powder, red phenolic powder, and also epoxy. So there is the apparatus for this experiment, and then we proceed to the procedure. So the first step is each group need to check 4 different of sample under a microscope. Second, initial microscopic viewing should be done using microscope because using stereo microscope because it's reveal a 3D scan the sample surface and it's more clear. Next, we need to put the sample on the platform of the microscope with its surface 90 degree or perpendicular with the optical axis. And then view the sample at the various magnification, which is 10, 20 and also 50 using a metallurgical microscope, and observe the microstructure aspect of the material. Next step is take the photograph from each sample at the optimal magnification as a result and save in folder. And the last step is name the file and move it to the compact disk. So that's all for the procedure and also apparatus.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Yunus bin Abdullah and matrix number is AA200928. I will continue the presentation by explaining the results, observation, and discussion for the question number 2. For the result, there are 5 specimens that has been observed. For specimens A and E, the martensic phase is present. For specimen B, the alternate phase and alpha ferrite phase are present. For specimen C, there are 2 phases has been present, which is cementite phase and ferrite phase. For the specimen D, only cemented phase is present. For the observation, in this experiment, the microscopic inspection of a prepared metal specimen is the most important aspect of metallography. The micro-inspection reveals structural characteristics like grain size, shape, distribution of the secondary phases, non-metallic inclusion, and other conditions. The grain size and distribution of the phases are visible in all specimens, as can be seen. The mechanical and physical properties of a metal are influenced by this characteristic. More data on specimen, grain size, area per volume, and phase distribution may be obtained by metallographic investigation. The microstructure of a metal also can offer an accurate image of its mechanical and thermal treatments.
Then the first discussion is why must metallographic samples have to be rinsed and carefully dried before proceed to grinding or polishing process. The reason it must be rinsed and carefully dried before proceed grinding or polishing process because it may result in the transfer of abrasive particles stages and the removal of unwanted scratches will take longer. This could result in the oxidation in the formation layers, affecting polishing and etching characteristics. As a result, grinding and polishing will be simple and you do not have to repeat the process.
For the question 2, explain the purpose of etching process for metallographic samples. The purpose of etching process is used to reveal specific structural characteristics of a metal that are not visible in unpolished state are referred to as metallographic etching. Before etching, a properly polished specimen can reveal structural characteristics like porosity, cracks, or non-metallic inclusion.
Okay, so for the discussion number 3, the question is why metallographic samples are sometimes mounted in plastic. Okay, for the answer is the primary purpose of mounting metallographic sample is for convenience in handling samples of difficult shape or size during the subsequent steps of metallographic preparation and examination. A secondary purpose is to protect and preserve extreme edge or surface defect during metallographic preparation. The method of mounting should in no way be injurious to the microstructure of the specimen. Pressure and heat are the most likely sources of injurious effect. Phenolic plastic were introduced to metallography in 1928 for encapsulating specimen by hot compression mounting. The plastic is not chosen at random, it is an epoxy resin which is easy to prepare by mixing the two preos into a solvent and cast with your samples into standard size cylindrical molds. It has also the advantages of not smearing on metallic surface and not clogging the abrasive paper.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Amir Haris bin Muhammad Abu Bakar with matrix number AA200757. For the discussion 4, the difference between eutectoid steel and hypoeutectoid steel is the carbon content. Hypoeutectoid steel has lower than eutectoid steel. Besides that, Hypoatectoid is more ductile than atectoid steel. Hypoatectoid steel has pro-eutectoid phase, while atectoid steel don't. For discussion 5, the microstructure of the atectoid steel consists only pearlite grains at room temperature. For the question B, the constituent of atectoid steel is cementite and ferrite. The phases of hypoatectoid steel is pearlite and cementite, and the constituent ferrite and pearlite. Metallography is preparation of specimen for microscopic examination and study of microstructure in relation to the physical and mechanical properties of that particular materials. In this laboratory experiment, to develop the microstructure, a sample or specimen need to be cut by diamond or abrasive, mounted in resin, and polished to the mirror finishing level, and etched. This process is very important due to demand from many industry used to improve our daily quality. For the recommendation, the specimen need to be polished perfectly to get accurate result. Scratches on the surface of the specimen will affect the result in the observation. That is all from our group. Thank you.